then so be it, so be it. I'm running, babe, I'm running, babe, I'm running, babe. Say hold on, I can't hold, I'm on a run, I can't slow down, I can't slow down. Say hold on, I can't hold, I'm on a run, I can't slow down, I can't slow down. Do you see it now, or you still blind?
that shit off. All right. Welcome back to the late night stream. Oh man, I've got like really bad allergies, and usually during allergy season, like it doesn't hit me as bad as it's been hitting me lately. When I'm on the East Coast, like I get really screwed up, like really, really screwed up. All the pollen and stuff in the air. But usually, I mean, I'm born on the West Coast, so it's usually really dry here. But for like the last 3 weeks in a row, like I've just been like screwed with like these really like terrible allergies. So my voice is probably gonna be going all over the place as I try to use my late night grooves. Yeah, see, it's just not working the way I want it to. So anyway, my voice is probably gonna be all over the place tonight. So anyway, I want to do a quick sound check. I'm gonna unpause the simulator here. If the sound is a little bit too loud, do let me know. So, well, obviously that's going to turn off. Hopefully the sound of the airplane is not too loud, though. Always have trouble trying to work out the sound here in the simulator. So I'm going to let that just play there for a second. Going to run my mouth for a quick minute just to make sure that the sound isn't like all over the place. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the late night stream. That's right, we are at Vail. This is from the highly acclaimed Jared Marshall. That's right, Jared is, well, I'd say he is a master of his craft, and his sceneries just have a way of coming out downright sexy. And what a better time to show it off than in a late night stream. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start off here. We're going to start off here at Vail and work our way on over to Aspen. The two cities are actually, or townships, I don't know, are they considered cities? I'm not really sure, but the two are actually fairly close to each other. I still feel like the sound of the airplane is too loud. I didn't get any feedback yet from you guys, but I think I'm going to turn down prepared a couple of notches here. Hopefully it's not too quiet. These two sceneries are actually very close to each other, so we'll only be airborne for a few moments, so why not take a quick moment and depart out to the east over Vail and then make our way over the mountains and down into Aspen. Again, I apologize in advance because I'm suffering from some really crazy allergies at the moment. Oh shoot, I forgot my iPad. Oh, crap, I forgot my iPad. I don't have any charts right here in front of me. I could try to eyeball it. I could. Fuck it. I'll try to eyeball it. We'll see what happens. Alright, let's go. Alright, so here we are. We are at Vail. And we're going to make our way over to Aspen. And I did take a quick moment before the start of the stream just to ensure that everything was working properly with Aspen. And it was. I'll hold off on any input or opinions until we are there. But this is a scenery that's a long time coming. How long has it been? 3 years? Somebody might be able to give me a little correction on that. I feel like it's been something like 3 years, but I could be wrong. Let me see. I adjust my view here. What's going on? I feel like I'm like right up against a panel. There should be a panel light down here somewhere, right? Fuel pump. I think it's in the overhead. I've only flown this airplane, I think, like once when I got it, and that was, what, a month ago already? No, avionics. There we go. So I haven't really spent much time. This is the Alabeo Aztec. And I was actually really looking forward to getting I'm going to do a midfield takeoff. I was actually really looking forward to getting my hands on the Aeroplane Haven Aztec, but unfortunately that went out for Steam only, and I think because of the DLC I won't be able to hack that into prepared. So that was That was kind of a bummer because I was really looking forward to comparing the two. A lot of people complain when it comes to Coronado and Alabeo aircraft. Oh, do I need flaps? I guess I probably could. That they all feel the same and, you know, have the same type of dynamics. And in recent, I guess, years or over the last year or so, Airplane Heaven's been doing a tremendous job with their add-ons. And one of the things that I really love about Aeroplane Haven's add-ons is they have a lot of character. So whereas the visuals may not have exactly matched that of Alabeo, ooh, look at that little wind, it's just blowing me right off, huh? Well, that's right, we're already getting a blow on the late night stream. Okay, that's not appropriate. Come on. Whoa, it's like taking those pitot tubes a long time to show me some airspeed, huh? Alright, is that the gear up? It's late night for me, so my brain is probably not all together there. Why am I up at 12 o'clock in the morning? Well, it's already, what, 12:20 a.m.? Well, I've been working a lot, so a lot of stuff going on at work, a lot of different refits going on with aircraft, a lot of stuff going on there, and, you know, some cancellations, a lot of delays, and a lot of overtime. So I haven't really had much time to get a live stream in, and there's so many things that have been released lately, and I just haven't had any time at all to get around to any of them, unfortunately. Hopefully the sound is okay, and that's not too loud over the sound of my voice. Hopefully not. But yeah, life has been pretty busy lately, so I really haven't had much time to get a stream in. So I had kind of hoped to get to this one right when it came out, but I missed it, and I've got quite a few things still lined up in the immediate pipeline that I still want to try to get to before the end of the week. But sometimes the only free time is late at night, and because I'm typically up at this hour anyway, because I work at night, so everyone's in bed, no one's, you know, gonna be walking by in the background or anything or needing my attention. So this is kind of the best time to be doing this. So as I usually do when it comes to these late night streams, I like to start off at sunset. You know, just to set the mood of what's going on when I do late night streams. That's right. So, but we will get to more of a daytime lighting, if you will, once we get into Aspen. I just thought I'd show the differences, and I really want to do some compare and contrast between the two scenery areas as it pertains to the photoreal coverage. And the photo coverage is a very, very big deal. Now, if you haven't seen it, I did do a stream live with Jared Marshall, the developer of this particular scenery. We did a nice interview, and that was when this first came out. How long has Veil been out already? Has it even been out for a whole year? I can't even remember when this came out. But so make sure you catch that one as well. And, you know, if you don't own this yet, actually now would be a good time to take advantage of that sale that Orbix has got going on and get it for 38% off or whatever it is. This is definitely among those at the top of the list. I'd say if you had to grab any two Orbix sceneries like right now under that discount, I'd probably say grab this and maybe Lake Tahoe. Two really good ones. I also did a live stream of Telluride, and that was a few weeks ago already. Time really flies. And if you haven't checked that one out, I guess I should turn my night lights on, huh? If you haven't checked that one out yet, highly recommend it. I love Telluride. It's just another amazing masterpiece from Jared Marshall. So one of the things that I pointed out in that stream was the amazing and massive photoreal coverage area that was included with Telluride, and it's very, very high resolution photoreal coverage, a lot of attention to detail, and of course you see that here. Well, you kind of see it because it's getting a little bit dark now, and like I said, I will bring the sun back up once we get closer to Aspen, but if you could see it, or if you do own it, then you know the photoreal terrain here, all of the, you know, the autogen that's placed, you know, the way the image is cleaned, I mean, it just looks spectacular. And I really want to point out the importance of having good, clean photoreal. It's something that is very, very important, because that is something alone that can make or break a scenery. In other words, sometimes it doesn't matter how big your photoreal coverage is, or whether or not it's included at all. If it sucks, it can really kill a scenery product. And as an example, and I think I pointed this out before, when Taxi to Gate released Hong Kong Check Lap Cock, if I pronounce that right, a lot of people were really disappointed with the photoreal coverage. And the thing when it comes to Asia, number one, getting high quality photoreal is just difficult as it is. And we saw that with Flight Simulation Development Group. They released Paro last year, and Paro is just, I mean, they did another kick-ass job. FSDG is just awesome. But they did Paro, but, you know, I'm assuming they did the best they could with the photoreal that was either available or the best available for the price, because depending on where you're looking to purchase photoreal, it can be very expensive. It can be extremely expensive. You know, something like 15 square miles could run you up into $5,000–6,000 in many cases. I mean, that's just how expensive satellite imagery can be. So in that case, obviously they did the best they could. It's the best photoreal scenery coverage I've ever seen, I think, in the region. And there's a lot of Chinese developers that have been breaking through lately, and they've been doing amazing jobs with their actual airports, but they're putting this photo scenery in there, and it just really just makes the whole thing look like shit. I mean, once you get outside of the airport itself. And when it comes to Paro, they did the best they could, but it's like you can't really compare Paro to like Vail or Eagle County here, because the quality of the photoreal is just not as good. I guess it really does come down to what's available. And when you get that photoreal, it's important that you know, clean it up as much as you can. And when it came to the Taxi to Gate Check Lap Cock, a lot of people really were not impressed with the photoreal. They love the airport, you know, and I did a stream on that one as well, so be sure to check it out. I thought the airport was magnificent, you know, very well done. But that photoreal just wasn't really doing it for a lot of people, and so eventually the team released an update with files that would allow you to remove the photoreal coverage area. So yeah, for a lot of developers out there, you know, if you're looking to add, you know, a large coverage area, if the photoreal is going to be low resolution, and if you're not really going to take the time to clean every square inch of that map, you might want to make sure that at the very least you include instructions of how people can get rid of it. Because I mean, if FTX Global, or even Default for that matter, is going to give you a better representation of a coverage area over your low resolution photoreal, or photoreal that's not been very well cleaned, then yeah, you should definitely give that option, because for a lot of people that they're probably gonna like not buy your scenery if it's just surrounded by poor photoreal. So something to keep in mind. And you know, Jared is obviously a master at the craft of that. Misha is as well. I think he's watching somewhere. And I mentioned in the Telluride stream that you know, Misha taught me a little bit of what it takes to clean a photoreal map, and the size of the coverage area that he gave me was small. It really wasn't that big at all in comparison to the rest of the coverage area, for sure. But I mean, it can take an hour just to like clean up 30 miles of photoreal. You know, that's just like, even if that, I mean, it takes a lot of time to water mask and clean it up. And so obviously, you know, if you're a developer, you want to take your time and make sure you do that right. Don't rush that part of it because you figure, well, I've done the airport and this is just an added bonus. Because when it comes to airports of this size, there's Vail down there. When it comes to airports of this size, obviously it's great to complement it with a large PR coverage area. But again, if you're not really going to take the time to really make it look real, then you might not want to bother. And that's very important, because I'm really looking forward to comparing the area here with the area that was used in Aspen. Now, this photoreal coverage area, I think most of it probably came from USGS. I can't remember if he purchased a higher, I think he had to purchase higher resolution photo imagery to cover the airport area, because you need that. You need more centimeter, or more, what is it, pixels per centimeter coverage when you're in those areas, obviously around the airport. But for the most part, a lot of developers can get, you know, this photoreal scenery for free, you know, which is freely available for anyone to use. So You know, if you do get it, it doesn't come pretty. I mean, you know, different satellites take pictures of different times of the day, and the colors can be all whacked out, and so there's a lot of effort that has to go into it. So I'm not sure if the developer of the Aspen project purchased photoreal scenery from another source, or if he got it from the same source. But I'm really interested in sort of comparing the two together, which we will see shortly. That's if I'm flying in the right direction. I'm not even really sure yet. I'm hoping I'll just see the photoreal coverage area and start flying into it. Oh wow, Ross is up early in the morning. What is it? If it's 12 a.m. here, then it's got to be like 2 o'clock in the morning where Ross is. So, no, I haven't crashed yet. Yet. Big emphasis on yet. Hopefully not. We'll see. So, and Misha is with us, and he says he's watching as much as possible with Australia's horrible internet. And I've heard that from quite a few people, that high bandwidth there is something to dream about. Okay, let's see if we can find Aspen from where we be at. I know it's in this area somewhere. Hang on, let me just take a look around. Is it over there? Is that it? I think that's it over there. I think I see photoreal over there. Is that photoreal? Yeah, it looks like photoreal to me. Alright, I hope that's it. I don't want to be getting lost up here. Does this thing have a GPS? I didn't even pay it. Oh, it does. Oh, duh, there's a magenta. I forgot that I did that. I set this up like a few hours ago, and then I left the computer alone, and then I just came back to it before the stream. So I forgot that I did put a magenta in there just so I could find my way around. Good on you. I was going to use my chart and then realize I don't have my my iPad with me. So, sorry, let me try that again. So, once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the late night stream. That's right. When it is nighttime, we do things just a little bit differently. Just a little bit sexy, you know. It's like tuning into your FM dial and wanting to hear something a little bit lovely at 1 o'clock in the morning. That's the best way to do the late night streams. All right, Crosswind. Why does that look familiar? Crosswind, is that, why does Crosswind look so familiar? That wouldn't be Simeon, would it? Is that Simeon? I'm not actually sure. I know, Crosswind looks so familiar. I'm trying to place it to a real name. I think that might be Simeon, if I'm getting it right. I might be wrong. But thanks for tuning in, Crosswind. Oh, it is Simeon. Hey, while you're still here before you go, I don't know how long you're going to hang around. Have you finalized if you're coming down to Flight SimCon yet? I'm actually in the process of getting a panel together of a bunch of different developers and a bunch of groups from different development teams. And it would be good to know if you're coming, because I would love to have you on the panel. Or at the very least, maybe do an interview or something with you. So I know you said you weren't sure last time we talked, but if you are, that'd be great. Get a little bit of feedback from the Majestic line. Yeah, that's right. All right, last I looked, we were heading what appeared to be toward a photoreal coverage area, but I could be flying in the dark. Yeah, that's it. All right, let me adjust the lighting here so we can see just a little bit better, and take my hands off the controls, and hopefully I won't crash. Let's see here. There we go. Tap that key over a little bit more. Alright, so now we've got some daytime. Sorry about that little freeze. Okay, so now we got a little bit of daylight here, and now we are approaching into the photoreal coverage area. There it is, directly at 12 o'clock. That is Aspen. And you can see the poppy lights of the airport there just to the lower right-hand side as it starts to come into view. I guess I should back off on the power here a little bit. Maybe I'll swing around the valley a little bit and then come in and land. Especially since my angle of attack is way too high and fast. Oh, That's right. Yeah, Simeon, I believe, does air traffic control, so he's, if I remember correctly. But well, hope you can make it, man. Still crossing my fingers that you'll be able to make it down to the convention because it's going to be huge. And to have a rep from Majestic, I think fans in general would just love to pick your brain. So fingers still crossed. We're going to do a little bit of a flyover over the airfield here. And hopefully, let's go back to external view. And you can kind of get an idea of how the photoreal coverage area blends in with FTX Global and Vector. Oh, Jordan, yeah, don't fall for that. Yeah, no, that's his real life job. Could you believe it if Majestic was developing Embraers? I'm actually just like really dying for the day that Majestic is going to build something with a jet engine on it. I mean, I think the crowds are going to go wild with that. We'll see how the Q3 comes along. I mean, obviously, we know it's going to be freaking awesome, but I mean, you know, we'll see what happens after that. So here we are. Can we find the seam? I think we found the seam. Is this the seam here between Photoreal and FTX Global? That would be the seam. I guess from this point of view, the blending is not bad. Taking a look at the quality of Photoreal and how well it's cleaned up. You can see, though, it gets kind of abrupt. If you look up on that hill there, you can see where the scenery is. I mean, when it comes to doing Photoreal, let me slow down a little bit more here. What's my speed? 115 knots, wow. You can kind of, when you do, whenever anyone does Photoreal in mountain regions, I think it's just a good rule of thumb to end the photoreal on the other side of the mountain from the airport perspective. That way, at least when you're at the airport, you don't actually see the blending area. You know, you can kind of hide the seam in the valley at the base, at the back end of a mountain, I suppose. I guess not that big a deal. This part of the photoreal here has a huge dark shadow. That's really dark. Alright, let's brighten things up here just a little bit more to get a little of a better look here. Taking a look at some of the roads. I can definitely see here. Oh, we got a helipad there. I can definitely see for sure the quality of the photoreal is definitely not the same as what was used either at Vale and Telluride. It definitely doesn't appear to have that same high texture resolution. So again, I'm not sure if the photoreal here comes from the same source or not. That would be a good question. Seeing some two-dimensional buildings down there without autogen. And I don't know, I guess the scenery feels like it should have more trees, more autogen trees, is what I'm saying. Are there actually trees here on this mountain? They are, but they're like really dark. Let's see here, and then here we hit the threshold again between the coverage area and FTX Global. I guess I'll just swing around in this little valley here and turn it around. So this is all FTX Global up in here. And now that we get now that the sun's a little bit higher in the sky, we can actually get a much better view of the valley. Definitely, the colors are like really bright. Those colors are really bright. It really stands out like a sore thumb among the rest of the terrain. So I mean, if you go back and you think back to veil, you have this terrain that really blends more perfectly with the FTX regions, which is why they recommend it. In this particular case, though, you can kind of see that it's like really standing out. Like that green is like really green. And when it was darker, it seemed more seamless. But now when there's more light, you can see here it's a much bigger deal. I don't know what I think about that. I really feel like the photoreal terrain here needs to be a lot bigger than it is. And in the areas where it's cut off, I don't know. It's like it's ending too abruptly in a lot of different areas, and it's like it's screaming photoreal, photoreal. It's kind of reminded me of, if you remember the first that old Aerosoft Budapest from way back in the day. The developers of that scenery basically just had like this giant, this is an FS9 by the way, they had this giant square of photoreal, and for FS9, I mean, and at the time it's really high quality photoreal, but you could see that square when you're approaching from like 15-20 miles away, and that's how you knew you were getting close to the airport, because you could just see that giant square. And in this case, it's kind of like you probably could spot this. Before the end of the broadcast, I am going to go to a high elevation and kind of take a look and see just how abrupt that coverage is. But even like now at this lower altitude here, and you can't really see the FTX Global in the background, this is still looking a little bit like too green. I don't know, it's weird. Is Aspen really much more? Maybe Aspen is just greener than Vail is, I guess. I would assume they'd be about the same. I don't know, but maybe I've never been to either place, but maybe Aspen is just greener than Vail. Maybe Vail is more of a brownish color, but even with the comparison between this and FTX Global, which I would think would be the kind of the default parameter for which almost every developer would sort of develop against in terms of blending it between that and default, that it would blend in just a little bit better than what we're seeing here. But because I know that's a big thing that a lot of people will ask is it compatible with FTX Global, and how well does it blend in with the terrain? So that is something to, I guess, sort of consider. I'm going to take a quick break from the airport because I want to try to show something off. Jordan King, or take a quick break from the scenery here. Jordan King gave us a tip, and your screen's going to go black here for just a second. I don't usually turn my cloud shadows on when I'm in a stream because it just tends to affect performance. Maybe when Jetline version 2 shows up, it'll handle that a lot better. But hint, no, I'm kidding. But let's see here. Vegetation and buildings, terrain. I wanted to show off cloud shadow cast. I wanted to show off this program that Jordan kind of gave us a little bit of a tip about, and this thing is freaking awesome. It is an amazing program. This Jordan, what is it called? I'm trying to remember what it's called. That freeware tool. It's on AirDailyX. Jordan. What's the name of the tool? But this thing is just amazing. And it's only compatible with prepared. I've turned on the cloud shadows there a little bit. I wanted to kind of show it off a little bit. If you look off in the distance, I really love that sort of bluish hue that it kind of does, like way off there in the background. Kind of makes it look more realistic. Realism shader. I just said realistic. You think it would have probably come to mind at that point. But it's called Realism Shader, and definitely run a search for that on AirDailyX. It hasn't been uploaded yet, but it will be officially uploaded. I guess he's going to upload it to AvSim file library. And if you have an opportunity to donate, definitely donate. But I mean, this thing just works like magic. Prepared has never looked better, ever. And honestly, he could have made a nice, buck or two on this program, but he decided to give it away for free. And some people really just care that much about the community to give something away for free. But man, this is just one really killer application. So, and basically, what it allows you to do is enhance your clouds, the cloud shadows, and you know, you can brighten the terrain if you want. There's a lot of different options in there that you can use. And one of the things I didn't like about Prepared version 3 over version 2 was that the guys at Prepared made the cloud shadows a little bit more subtle. And I'm not really sure why they did that, because I like harsh, wow, what happened here? I like really harsh cloud textures on the ground. And they kind of made it they made them a little bit too soft. So with this program, you can actually go in and make them strong again. So I really wanted to kind of show off what that looks like in the simulator, because I know there's quite a few of you out there that are unable to download it yet, because I guess once AirDailyX posted the link to that original chat, then the Dropbox just kind of crashed out. So it's just a release candidate, but it's amazing. So definitely check that out. And before the end of the stream, I'll also show off the tool that you guys can kind of take a look at that as well. I'm gonna go ahead and like dive bomb land here if I can. What's my airspeed here? It's a little high, but I think I can make it. So there's that scene now. Flying, we flew into the area initially, and you can see there where he's really worked hard to blend it, but the colors are like, I don't know. It looks kind of like, I don't know. And you see this little black triangle here? Like that should have been cleaned up and brightened up, because that just looks like, no matter where the sun is in the sky, that's just going to be like a black wall. Hey, that's exactly what it looks like. It just looks like a black wall. So I guess that could have been cleaned up a bit. Okay, there's just no way I'm doing this approach at this speed. Let me go around again. Yeah, it just looks kind of like a black wall. I'm trying to just do some flying around here in the virtual cockpit a little bit, just to try to give you an idea of what the area looks like. But yeah, and then there's another one here. This is black. I mean, this over in here, I guess that looks fairly nice, but these black walls here are kind of bugging me a little bit. I'm gonna like swing this thing around really hard and then land. There are some trees on it though. This airplane, by the way, is very lovely. It's the Aerosoft Aztec. This is literally the second time I've flown it since I bought it, but definitely check it out if you haven't yet. Obviously, it's not as good as my my A2A baby, but not bad. Nice to have a nice old Piper twin engine. I was a big fan of the Aerosoft. I'm trying to remember which one that was. I can't remember which one that was. That was way back in FS9, way back in the day. That was a good add-on for its day. Alright, so if I'm going to crash, I guess it's going to happen now. So hang on a second. Still going way too fast. And there's our lovely airport coming into view now. A lot of, well, those are tennis courts. Okay, I thought those were roofs of houses or something. Look at those lovely cloud shadows. Very nice. A little crosswind here. there's a big fat crosswind up here. There's the firehouse. Looking off to the left. That actually looks really nice. Let's take a look at these ground textures. Go back to the outside. Whoa, what do we have here? Wait a minute. Hang on a second. What am I looking at? What am I looking at? Are the ground textures missing, or what am I looking at here? Sorry, checking the comments there. Good night, Crosswind. I think he took off already. Hopefully we'll see him at the convention. Sorry, I'm just a little bit confused. I'm not sure if the ground textures didn't load or if this is it, because the paint is here and the runway is definitely a different color, but it looks as if the photoreal, it looks almost as if lines were just painted on top of photoreal. That's what it looks like. I don't actually see like where the photoreal ends and the tarmac begins. That's blended so seamlessly, it looks like it's all photoreal. Is my airplane touching the floor of the ground? No, it's not. It's like hovering there. Okay, I'm really confused. It looks like there's like an AVCAD file that's flattened the runway, which is why we don't get that dirt, but the airplane is elevated, or there's something wrong with my installation. Because I don't see the ground textures. All I see is what looks like photoreal. And kind of like just sort of almost retextured. Okay. Oh crap, there's the crash. I knew it would happen sooner or later. Alright, let's make our way over to the tarmac here. Oh, what's going on there? Did you guys see that? There was like a box or something that looked like an ILS. Well, look at that. Crosswind's really trying to force me off. What's happening here? I think something might be wrong with my installation. What the heck was that? Where'd it go? It's gone now. Okay, I don't see it now. Maybe it has something to do with the poppies, maybe? Jordan is saying the runway texture is grass. I don't know what's going on with this runway texture, but it doesn't look like a runway. It looks like the textures haven't fully loaded or something. I'm not really sure, but I don't see... It's I don't know. I can't really explain it. It's like, it looks like concrete, but it also looks like photoreal. I don't see like the custom... Misha, what's it called when you guys do a tarmac from scratch, like when you texture the ground, the runways? Here, it looks like it's photoreal and then paint like on top of the photoreal. I'm not sure. It looks weird. And it looks like it's blending all the way through the tarmac as well. So this all looks like photoreal. I mean, the ground markings are good. The ground markings look great. I don't know. There's something with these textures that's like rubbing me the wrong way. I can't quite put my finger on it. Hang on, Jordan posted an image. Let me see something here real quick. Oh, so that's what it looks like. So the installation is fine then. I'm not sure why he did it like that, but that just looks really odd. I don't know. It may not, look, it doesn't look bad. It's just not really something that I usually expect to see. Usually it definitely looks like it's photoreal. And it looks like it's been cleaned up quite a bit. And it has some nice ground markings, but I'm just not... but it still looks like it's the photoreal image, though. Oh, what was that? Did you guys see that? Hang on, let me back up. Did you guys see that? Oh, there it is again. Let me just slowly taxi up here. Alright, well, I don't see it this time. There was something that popped on the screen. Well, when you watch this on YouTube later, you can rewind it and you'll probably see it. I'm not sure what that was. Alright, let's make our way over to the FBA. I think I'll probably switch into the chopper. We're going to switch into the chopper. Sorry, that was some really bad Arnold Schwarzenegger there. Lots of nice jets parked over here. You know, you would think that Aspen's kind of like the premier Colorado mountain destination. You think the airport would look more like Vail, but I mean, there's really not many buildings or anything. You do have this nice FBO looking building here, which is very nice. I'm not sure what kind of reflection that is, that's kind of showing off, though. I don't know. I'm going to switch aircraft really quickly. And actually, while I switch aircraft, your screen's going to go blank for a second. I'm going to pull up that tool for you really quickly, if I can find it. Where did I put it? That's actually a good question. Oh, Sim Shader Pack. I think that's what it's called. Let me see. Can I switch over to... What button is it? I'm not even sure what button it is. Oh, there it is. You guys should be seeing the desktop. Let me just make sure. So this is what it looks like. This is that Sim Shader Pack. And let me change aircraft real fast. Mike Delta. Where's my 902? I actually would fly that Milvis 530, but if I push it too hard, I'll kill the engine, and I tend to push these things a little bit hard. MD 900. Actually, what the heck happened to my, what's that thing called? Crap. Alright, let's just go with this. That should be fine. That should be good. So really quickly, when you guys do eventually get to that realism shader, whenever you get it, this is what the control panel looks like. You back up your files, click on that, and what is his name? His name is in here somewhere. The guy who did this. What is his name? I can't. I don't see his name. Oh, here we go. Pedrog. Pedrog. I'm not sure. I don't want to butcher his name, but Simhead is what he calls himself. He's the one who's responsible for putting this wonderful tool together. And this is essentially what it does. Look at that. You can adjust the terrain brightness and the shadow intensity. See that? I mean, that is just like amazing. Just amazing. And then Autogen here, this is another tweak where you hit a couple of options in the simulator and it makes the Autogen brighter, especially in these areas where like you have these shadows. It makes the Autogen kind of pop out a little bit against the terrain, which is really cool. You have a cloud shader here, which makes it more precise. Cloud shadows, darker clouds at dusk, dawn at night, and an alternative popcorn fix. If you have Rex, or I think even what is that? ASN I think has a cloud pop fix thing, I think, embedded in theirs as well somewhere, I think. And then you have an HDR setting. I'm not using HDR right now, but you have this as well. So this is just a very, I want to say it's a very simple tool. Obviously it's very complex, and it took quite a bit to put all this together. But for what it does, I mean, it just, and I hope he puts more, effort into this in the future. But this is just amazing. This is crazy cool, and it's only compatible with P3D. So that's what I'm using at the moment. Actually, even the shadows on right now doesn't seem to be a really bad idea. So I guess I'll go ahead and leave them on. And it doesn't seem to be killing my frame rates at the moment. So I guess I'm fine with that. And is that Matthias Koch from Aerosoft? Whoa! Oh my God, I am honored. Hang on, I've got to get the laptop and bring it a little bit closer to my face so I can actually read this now. This is important. Usually when it's just you guys, I'm like, who cares? Let's see here. Hang on a second. Let me scroll up here a little bit. Let's see. I don't want to miss anything. Okay, so Matthias says both the Windsock files, DX9 and DX10, are active. Only one should be. The fact that the aircraft floats is due to an FS bug that hates high altitude, and we're rather proud of the runway textures. DeAndre. Okay, so I guess that's what that is. I don't ever remember seeing my aircraft floating at Vail or Telluride, but I will say this. I do understand that working with high elevations is a real pain in the ass. So I definitely won't throw fault there, especially in prepared. I know it's gotten a little bit better in recent times, but yes, I am definitely well aware that high elevations are just a very difficult thing to work with. So yeah, I'll definitely pay some attribute to there. Matthias says they're rather proud of the runway textures. Not saying that they look bad per se, but it doesn't look like custom textures. It does appear to have like a photoreal appearance to it to me, and maybe, I don't know. I mean, there's quite a few people watching, and they can all have their own varying opinions, I suppose. But that's just, it doesn't look like custom. From the sky, from here, it looks fine. But when we get down on the ground, and kind of how I notice it was taxiing around from the third view, it definitely looks like photoreal. And I'll come back down here just a little bit. And there seems to, it almost looks like there's kind of like a high sort of contrast saturation. I don't know, that's just, I don't know, but that's just my opinion of how it looks. I'm not saying it looks bad per se, but it's definitely something that kind of screamed at me. Oops. Ooh, what's happening here? I don't want to do that. There we go. Yeah, that's something that's kind of screaming at me, but to each his own. And Fabian is here also, so I better be careful. These guys gonna, start kicking my butt. No, I'm kidding. All right, so now that we've got the helicopter here, let me switch into the first person perspective. Just move that forward a little bit, and let's actually take a look at some of these buildings here. This, of course, being the famous and most well-known building here. It's got some nice smoke effects coming out there. And one thing I will point out that I definitely like is the 3D vehicles. Looking very nice. Got some nice golf carts there in the background, and those little like electric vehicles, which I'm assuming is. You get out of your very expensive Mercedes or BMW or whatever it is, and then you get into this little like kind of crappy golf cart, and then you go jump on your G6. So, go figure that out. Taking a look at this vegetation, this looks like kind of wintry almost, does it? Or is that just me? You know what? One of the things I didn't check to see is if this came with its own control panel. And if it does, then I'm already at fault for that. I'm not sure if this should be greener or if that's just like looking like a snowy texture. I'm not really sure. So there it is, Atlantic Aviation. And do I want to point this out about Atlantic Aviation? I don't know if I should point it out, but I will say this because Misha, he's going to kill me. But we recently had a run-in with the folks at Atlantic Aviation, and I have to just give them a shout-out because they are really, really nice people. We wanted to photograph one of their FBOs, and they were just so incredibly nice, and they were just like, absolutely, you know, help yourself. You know, make sure you get all our logos in there. Very, very helpful. And in a day and age where airports can be such a pain in the ass to get photography, Atlantic Aviation was very, very helpful. So just a little bit of a shout out to them. Nevertheless, okay, so taking a look at the building here, and now that I got a little bit lower, I can, ooh, crap, lost a little bit of control. Let's put that down for a second. Now that I get a little bit closer to the windows, I can actually see there the background. So that is custom. When you get a little bit higher, it's kind of hard to see, but now that you get a little bit lower, you can see that mountain there in the background. So lovely. You can only see it when you're really kind of low in front of it, but it looks nice. Let's see, I think Matthias is saying something again. Let me take a minute to see what he's saying there. Hang on a second. I'm going to pause it because I have to grab the laptop and actually bring it closer to my eyes because I'm nearsighted. And Matthias is saying try night. Looks very cool. Yes, we will get into... Yeah, he's saying I'm running winter textures in the summer. And there is a tool to change the settings. Okay, so that's my fault. My apologies. Not very usual that Aerosoft sceneries come with their own config tools. Is it? I guess I just assumed it would work out of the box. I'm used to Aerosoft sceneries just working right out of the box. With Orbix sceneries, I'm used to having like, you know, a million different settings and stuff. So I should have checked that. So I definitely will. Also want to comment on these aspen trees here. These custom trees. These are very nicely done. When I did the interview with Jared, he had to create his own custom aspen trees as well for the Vale scenery. And these are very nicely done. So nice to see these custom trees added as well, this custom vegetation. Looks very lovely. Let's head across the airfield here over to this little firehouse, which I think aside from Kenai, the Orbix scenery, this is probably the nicest firehouse I think I've ever seen. If you have that Orbix Kenai by Russ White, the firehouse there is really nice. So yes, indeed, I do have the winter texture setting there, and that's why we see it, which is fine. Because we are going to take a look at the winter textures, and if the winter textures were off, and when we go to look at the winter, the full winter, then we would see buildings without texture. So one way or the other, you know, we're probably going to see something out of place. So that's fine. I really do like the texturing of the building here. This was very nicely done. Look at that brick. Very high resolution though. But the only thing though is that with the background, is that custom background or default background? I'm still trying to figure that out, if that's custom or default. It looks awfully dark from certain perspectives. But, and I am going to have to point this part out. I'm sorry, but I have to, because I remember Jawiecki designed the Polish team. I mean, I really, you know, I ripped them apart quite a bit on Shemiratowo, and I know I got it wrong. You know, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but it's one of the airports up in Moscow. And I think he said they actually fired that developer. I should probably say that, but one of the things that I really pointed out with that scenery was that, I mean, the quality of the building textures, everything was just done like immaculate, beautiful, loved it, completely loved it. But there were some issues with, you know, using photoreal terrain in areas where photoreal terrain shouldn't be used. And this was one area that even way back in the day, if you go back and read my review of, I can't think of the airport, but for some reason the name Jim Bridger comes to mind. Where am I talking about here? The airport up in Wyoming. Damn it, I can't think of the name of the airport, but Bozeman. Thank you. Yeah, Jared had pretty much done the same thing with the parking lots, and here it comes, DeAndre, with this damn parking lots. And it wasn't just the parking lots, but there are certain areas where everything sits on top of photoreal, and for some reason it just doesn't look right, especially when you can see it from the airfield perspective. So in this case, and I've done this to a few developers, so this is not me picking on anyone in particular here, but I have mentioned before that you really should have, when it comes to the airfield itself, I understand that there are going to be cases where you're not going to sit there and model every freaking parking lot and road outside the airport, but for roads and any tarmac area within the airport perimeter, it should all be done with custom tarmac textures, and it should not be reliant on photoreal. So I point all that stuff out to just kind of show that here. I mean, you have this really lovely firehouse. I mean, the texture on the building, I mean, it's great. I love the modeling here. I love the way those brick textures are. You can see here, you have this, what do you call this material? Like this metallic sliding material. I mean, it all comes together nicely. I love the coloring. I love the way the textures are. It looks great, but then you start to take away from it a bit when you just plop it down on top of photoreal. And so that's kind of what happened here. And then if you get over to the parking lot, you can see some of the effort was made here in this area, and then you just have this like abrupt seam that runs along there, which is rather abrupt. So those are things that I point out with any scenery where I see it. And Orbix lately, they just want to shut me up. So I guess they just, they go in and do it. And, I remember because when Misha was